How's it going on, everyone? Mush back at it with another video. Want to take you guys through some of the best deals that are available as a part of the Green Man Gaming Summer Feast sale that is live right now. A lot of good deals. I picked out my top 8 or so deals. We have games in a couple franchises, so there's a couple deals I gotta go through, but definitely right off the top, before you buy any of the games in particular, I would highly recommend you to pick up this X-Piece Pax Summer 2021. It's literally just $1. You get 3 Steam games, you get instant XP access, which gives you exclusive discounts to a couple other titles, and you get a $1 credit back, and you get exclusive vouchers. So this is like just the slam dunk. If you're gonna buy anything, get this first, because with instant XP access, and again, you get a $1 credit back, so you can just put that towards anything you buy. But with instant XP access, that actually gives you another layer of discounts on a couple of the other games. So I would highly recommend to buy this first more than anything else, and then, you know, you can pick out the games that you want. But definitely that is super valuable, and getting close to the Sun Steam key right there, that's easily worth $1. So, yeah, this pack is really solid, and I would strongly recommend you to get this, if nothing else. But other than that, let's go over some deals themselves. Okay, first of all, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition. You guys know me, I'm not big on this style of Assassin's Creed games. I'm more about the retro Assassin's Creed titles, but if you are a fan of Origins, or you played Valhalla and you enjoyed that game, Odyssey is going to be something that you enjoy, and it's got an absurd amount of content. Like, if you want a game for its longevity, obviously Odyssey is going to give you that. This Gold Edition also includes the Season Pass, which has additional story arcs, so a lot of additional content, and then you also get Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered and Assassin's Creed Liberation Remastered, so you got a lot of content for your money here. That's why I'm recommending the Gold Edition over the Standard Edition, just because here, if you're a fan of this style of AC title, I mean, value per dollar, it's not going to get much better than this in terms of Assassin's Creed games, so $21 for that, I think, is quite good. Speaking of value for your dollar, how about Monster Hunter World Iceborn Master Edition? This is 50% off for $29.92. It's going to be available for the next day. Obviously, MH World is the easiest recommendation if you want a game that's going to give you a lot of longevity for your dollar. The base game already, Capcom had updated it so much that we had already gotten an absurd amount of content with that game, but then you throw in the Iceborn expansion. Yeah, that expansion, some people were like, oh, why do I have to spend $40? At the time, it was a $40 expansion release, but that expansion included almost as much content as the base game, so really, you were getting your money's worth, and here you get both for $29.92. Excellent deal here, especially if you've never played Monster Hunter World. Definitely an easy recommendation to make. Next up, we have the Stalker Bundle, which is available for $13.60. I always talk up the Stalker games. I think they are absolutely excellent. Stalker Call of Pripyat, Stalker Clear Sky, Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. You get all 3 games for $13.60. Remember that Stalker 2 is out next year, so now would not be a bad time to try out Stalker. The games do show their age a little bit, but they're still very enjoyable, especially if you're into more realistic, challenging games. I think you're really going to dig it from that aspect. And for 3 games, again, $13.60. I'm trying to recommend you guys that give you a lot of value for your dollar. And here with Stalker, the collection, I believe you get that in spades. And yes, the games are a little bit older, but if you want to see what all the fuss is about with Stalker, I would strongly recommend it. And like I said at the top, Stalker 2 coming very, very soon. Next up, we have Resident Evil 2 and, Resident Evil 2 Biohazard RE2 Standard Edition, 66% off for $13.76. Excellent deal for Resident Evil 2 as well. Resident Evil 2, in my opinion, is almost as good as Resident Evil Village. I would probably put Resident Evil Village slightly ahead, but if you want to go back and forth on which one you like better, by all means do that. RE2 is just so good in terms of remaking Resident Evil 2 from the original game. RE3 kind of faltered at that, but RE2 stands out so well. You have 2 campaigns, and this is the cheapest we've seen this game for. Like, I believe on Steam, the cheapest we've seen this game go to is $15.99, so $13.76, you save a couple dollars on that as well, and definitely a high-quality title. So even if you spend $60 on it back in January of 2019, most people were pretty happy with it, but now for $13 and change, definitely a good pickup. Sticking to Resident Evil 4 is available 75% off for $5. That's an easy recommendation. RE4 is rumored to get a remake in 2022. I believe actually it got pushed back to 2023, so that's a long ways away. I played RE4 pretty recently, as in like 9 months ago, 9 months to a year ago, I believe. And I still enjoy the game. Yes, does it show its age? Absolutely. The camera isn't the greatest thing in the world, but still a very, very enjoyable game. Not the longest game in the world, but for $5, jump in, jump out, have a good time with it. I think you guys are going to end up really enjoying it. Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, a game a lot of people have been looking forward to, 24% off for $13.79. Not a bad price at all, given this game is still in early access, and the game is making a lot of progress in its early access period. An absurd amount of content in this game. Like, if, again, that's with a lot of games on this list, I always try to go that route, but Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord, even in its current stage, yes, there's issues here and there, and that's definitely the case with the majority of early access titles, but for the most part, what you get is a pretty high quality experience, and again, what they already have in there is pretty good, and I would say is worth the $37, and it's just going to get better from here, as we've seen with several early access games. So $37.79, a little bit on the pricier side, but I know it's a game a lot of people have been eyeing. And lastly, I do want to give a shout to Red Dead Redemption 2. This is 33% off for $40.19. Pretty good deal here. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a game that always gets its flack for its, you know, it's, what's it called? It's online component, but the single player is still really good, and from that standpoint, I do think it's a worthwhile purchase. This is the Epic Games version of the game, so that should be noted. Rockstar always goes that route. Whenever you buy from a third-party e-tailer, you don't get a Steam key, so that's a little bit of a bummer for those of you that want a Steam key, but the game is at such a high-quality level that I still think it's an easy recommendation, and I've talked about it quite a few times, but content-wise, it's really good. Very, very good attention to detail, and if you're talking about the open world, the additional content in the game itself outside of the main story is also quite good. A lot of people literally just play Red Dead Redemption 2, get lost in the open world, and never end up actually beating the game. I would recommend actually beating the game because the story is quite good, and it wraps up quite nicely at the end of the game. So yeah, don't just get lost in the open world, but hey, that's one of the fun aspects of the game, I guess. Those are some of the deals that I thought stood out to me. If you go to their homepage, you can find a lot of other stuff. Rainbow Six, AC Origins Gold Edition of that, if you want to pick that up. They've got Assassin's Creed Unity, if you want to play that, Far Cry 4, Far Cry New Dawn, and a bunch of other smaller titles if you're into that. Watch Dogs 2 Gold Edition is actually a sleeper deal here for $11.30. That game, from what I played of Legion, I really enjoyed Watch Dogs 2 more than Legion. They also have the Stalker games separately, so like Clear Sky here, $2.22 if you want to see what the fuss is about with that. So have a look at the entirety of the sale yourself, but I thought I went through some pretty solid deals. But that's going to wrap it up for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.